This is CPE 233. This is the syllabus for winter 2022. This is the overview of the syllabus. So I'm teaching two sections. I'm actually four sections, which is two courses, 3 and 4, and section 7 and 8. So I call 3 and 4 the morning section, and 7 and 8 the afternoon section. Keep in mind that I've transferred everyone to Canvas on section 3, which is what you'll see in your Canvas whatever. So the location of this class is 2100 on campus, although we're going to certainly, as you probably know by now, we're going to start the course out online just for safety reasons. So my name is James Mealy. You're welcome to call me James. My pronouns he, him, his. Typically my office when I'm there is in 2100, 20-1, I'm sorry, room 300. And there's the office phone listed up there too, but I would say don't call it because I'm never there. Best way to contact me is through email, and there's my email address. So my office hours are Tuesday and Thursday. It's Tuesday 1 to 2 and Thursday 12 to 1. These are times that I will always be there. They will not be on campus no matter what. And the Monday and Wednesday, Friday office hours are typically 1 to 2 o'clock, but I list those as by request only. So it means if you want me to show up, for sure, write me an email in advance. Usually I'm there, but sometimes if no one says anything, I'm not there. Please feel free to contact me and ask me to show up. Now, if I'm at home, that's the same goes for those office hours. I'm only going to show up on Zoom if someone asks me. So there's the course catalog description. It's actually quite old and doesn't make any more sense anymore. I'm not sure why no one changes it. Prerequisites for the course are CPE 133. The courseware for the book or for this course are the main book with a solutions manual. There's also a Verilog tutorial, I call it, Verilog textbook with solution manual. There's also a assembly language programming manual, which turns out to be very helpful. All this stuff is on Canvas. I do update it when I need to quite a bit, not as much as usual, not as much as I used to, but please, particularly with a lab manual, anytime you do a new lab, download a new manual. So the software you need for this course is Xilinx Vivato. As you know, I'm sure you have experience with that. You can download it yourself. If you're an Apple person, there's a note on Canvas about using Apple. I actually know nothing about it. I can't really help you with that. Homework is important that I don't collect it, but it's important that you do it. There's tons and tons of problems at the end of chapters. There's 4 or 5 quarters worth of quizzes. There's some sample problems. There's old exams, etc. There's just a ton of stuff. You need to do as many problems as you feel necessary to learn the material. This is, part of self-regulation here. I'm not collecting it, but it's up to you to do as many problems as you need to. So the grading for this class is there's 2 columns there. There's the with and without quizzes. So you don't have to take the quizzes. I suggest you take the quizzes. If you don't take the quizzes, as you can see, the weighting transfers to the lab and lecture final. So I'd give 2 finals in this course. I give a lab final the last day of regular class, which is short answer problems, and I also give a lecture final during finals week, which is solve problems. Keep in mind that as the quarter goes along, I do ramp up my grading standards. I start off easy, ramp them up a bit as the quarter goes along. That goes for quizzes and lab reports. So once again, another part of self-regulation here is it's up to you to decide to take the quizzes or not. Typically, I forgot to mention it here. I'll put it in a later version. I do allow people to drop 1 quiz score. And so keep that in mind in case that helps you. So there are 2 minimum performance standards for this course, meaning that you got to do all the experiments to get an A. If you miss 1 experiment, the maximum grade you're going to get is a B+, etc., etc. Additionally, you have to pass both the lecture and lab final. That means you've got to understand both how to solve problems and exactly what you're doing in the lab. So I only want you to submit your work if your hardware was working. Otherwise, don't submit anything if your hardware wasn't working. Now that's for experiments which actually have hardware in them. Now some are simulation only. Keep that in mind. So possible lab scores are 0, 1, then 14 through 20 out of 20. The issue is don't submit something if it's low quality. If it's low quality, I simply won't grade it and give you a 1. So make sure it's high quality. So the lab hardware in the class is the Basis 3 board. You're probably familiar with that with 133. You need 1 board per group. Now there are, in 2100, there are 8 benches. They each have a board on them. The status of those boards is not checked by anyone. They could be broken. Don't count on them working. Typically when I'm in class or the TA's in class, they will have a box full of boards that you can borrow for the class time, but then you leave there after class. If you need to get a board from the EE department, supposedly they have those boards. I don't really know why the EE department is still in charge of that. That's just still a mystery to me. So lab submissions are it's kind of like a lab report, but it's not. It doesn't have conclusions and objectives, blah, blah, blah. I call them lab submissions. The lab manual has a description of what I expect in the lab submission. By all means, take a look at that. It's quite long, but it's quite really straightforward. And the experiments have questions at the end and a hardware and software problem. By all means, do them. If you have problems, just ask me or ask the TA. We're here to help on those problems. As far as deadlines go for the lab submissions, their labs are due 2 weeks after they're signed. I will for sure grade labs up to 21 days late. After 21 days late, I may not ever grade them. So keep in mind, if you're 21 days late, you may not get your work graded. And the problem is, if you're 21 days late, you're probably not going to do well in the class anyway. Don't fall behind. So there, like I said, there is a lab final exam. It's given during dead weeks. So keep in mind, as you're doing these labs, you've got to understand what you're doing. You just can't just do it and turn it in, which is very possible. But if you don't understand what you're doing, you're not going to do well in the lab final. So the course approach is a flipped course, which essentially means all the videos are done online. You watch them on your time, and in class time we work together to solve problems, or so the story goes. So simply, the issue is it's not synchronous or asynchronous, according to Cal Poly's definitions. I will not give a synchronous lecture. During class time, I will be available to help you. So the best option for you is to watch the videos in advance and come to office hours, come to class time and ask questions. Hopefully once we get all back in class, it will be a different story, but that's how it's going to work for now. So typically the days I am in class, I'll give a high-level lecture and do some example problems, but the best option is still to watch the videos. So no matter where I am, I'm there to answer questions. I typically have Zoom hours, office hours, when I'm off campus, as you know, and I can meet with you various times via Zoom, always available via email. So there's a lot of people in this class, a lot of students. It's overscheduled. It violates CSU rules, but I can't do anything about that. The idea is to get help wherever you can get it from. The idea is to learn. Don't just get someone to do the problems for you or something. Just learn together, work together, and learn together on this one. The best option, of course, is that you learn to debug your own work. There's a lot of students near deadlines. There gets a lot of students needing help. I need to limit the time during Zoom time that I can help you, or during other times. So keep in mind, if your needs aren't met, you need to tell me, and I do my best to work it out to get your needs met. Keep in mind the best way to fail this class is to not ask questions when you have them. During the quarter, I may make changes to the syllabus. Keep that in mind. Also, if there's something wrong, you can't find something, that means I probably made a mistake. Please contact me immediately. So my job is here to help you learn and to evaluate what you have learned. I'm not here to make your life harder or anything like that, although it probably seems like it sometimes. I believe that everyone has the ability to excel on this course, and we'll talk more about that later. And like I said here, look, I work towards supporting my belief that everyone has the ability to do well in this course. This is my abbreviated diversity and inclusion statement. So I guess it's just diversity statement. This is how I view diversity, which is, I think, particularly interesting as an old white dude. So keep that in mind. Academia has some problems, but I think there are some of us in academia working to fix those problems. So these are the final times. Like I said, there's 2 finals during finals week. The final I'm going to give during finals week is on Wednesday for both sections. It may be listed as a lab or a lecture section by the registrar, but as I said, they don't really know what they're doing. So the lab final is on Friday, last day of regular classes. The lecture final is on the following Wednesday. If you've got questions, ask me, and we will work through it. Good luck.